Can you imagine a world where there is only love? Where there is no anger, no hatred, no fear, where there's simply peace, joy, love, and harmony. Can you imagine that? Just allow that to flow. Feels good, doesn't it? Anybody turn on the news this morning? Yeah, good. It does not have the appearance of peace, love, joy, and harmony in this world right now, does it? No, no. And yet, we have the power, and I would say we have the responsibility to do everything we can to create a world that is filled with peace, love, joy, and harmony. You ready to take it on?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore told us, the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family, the universe, and everything in it is love. It is the great harmonizing principle known to man. What a unique concept. Love. When I was thinking about our conversation this morning, I was going, well, living from the heart, what does that mean? It could be that organ inside of us, right? The thump, ka-thump, ka-thump. Or it could be that peace, harmony, right? Or it could just be love. Or it could be all of them, right? Yeah. And what's interesting is when we think of living from the heart, I know I went to the place of love. Let's talk about love. And I thought, no, let's look a little further. And there's nothing about talking about love, but Ray is going to do it next month, and I don't want to steal her thunder. But living from the heart. And we're going into the holidays now, yes?
Yes.
Anyone thinking about, oh my goodness, I have to visit with Aunt Gertrude or Cousin Steve or my old high school friend that I don't really want to see, but they're going to be there when I'm there, and wondering, oh, how am I going to deal with this? Imagine going into every situation in these holidays coming from the heart, a space of love. And I went on the internet. I am so grateful for the internet now, because 10 years ago, this conversation would be much different, because I would have been focusing purely on love. But I found the most fascinating information about living from the heart. And it was a marvelous conversation that I found. There were 3 women that I really honed in on. One was an author, a freelance author, boring life. She's, climbed Mount Everest and, sailed across the Atlantic. Boring. And I could tell she was from Great Britain because she didn't know how to spell. And then there was a physician. And it was an article that she had written for CNN. And we've been studying Mary Morrissey's work, and she in Prosperity Plus, and she refers to CNN as continuously negative news. And I'm looking at this article, and I was going, this is powerful. And this is a physician talking about the heart and living from the heart. And then I found a conversation by a woman who is a yoga master. And she spoke of living from the heart. And I've had people tell me that really our brain that's in our skull is not the brain that runs our bodies, it runs our lives. And yet, aren't we conditioned that it's our thoughts, and the brain's up here, and as if the brain is doing all these wonderful, marvelous things for us, making these decisions and regulating everything in our lives? And we have to figure out how to regulate the brain. And if we can do that, then we can shift everything. But I discovered, and people have told me that there's a heart brain, and it's right behind the heart. And I was like, oh, okay. I wonder if I can find it. But what was fun is in going through these different people writing about the heart. For instance, the physician talked about, oh, there's a physician. And I mean, this CNN, a physician, right? To live from the heart means to live listening to what makes us feel good, vitalized, energized, balanced, rejuvenated, and healthy, both physically and emotionally. It means surrounding ourselves with people who nourish our souls, build us up, and make us want to be the best we can be. It's from a physician, a cardiologist even, living from the heart. So she's looking at listening to what makes us feel good. And don't we run into a lot of people that and some of us are them. If that's probably not good grammar. But that we do what we're supposed to do, what's expected of us. We fulfill our responsibilities, even if it does not make us feel good. Yes? You might not be there now, but haven't there been times in your life when you just did it because you had to do it? Yeah. But she's talking about living from the heart. Oh, as an aside, I was at my cardiologist's office, this is last year, and they had something like, they had CNN on, actually. And I meant to mention it to my doctor when I finally got in to see him, that maybe that was the wrong station to have in the waiting room of the cardiologist's office. Okay, and this is Suzanne Steinbaum, by the way. And then she goes on, though, and some of us don't want to read this. It means living from the heart also means diets that give us what we need in nutrients and energy, but not what slows us down. It means avoiding the excess fats and sugar and salt. It means exercise and so on, okay? And also to consider how we approach the world. And she addresses depression, anxiety, pessimism, anger, hostility, job dissatisfaction, and so on. And yes, that does impact us, doesn't it? Yeah, and it's not just the heart. And I've had that situation. I had one a few years ago where I was going to just, I was going to tough it out in a situation. And my heart started screaming at me. I started having palpitations, and I was, wait a minute, I think somebody's trying to tell me something. And I made a totally different decision about that situation. Funny thing, guess what happened? No more conversation with the heart. It was satisfied because I listened, right? So we need to do that. And here's a physician that's talking about the power of listening to your heart. Then with the yoga person, Christina Sarish, and I did not know this. The heart is the first organ to function when we are in utero. Somebody knew that? No, you didn't? Okay, good. Now you do. It is another important intelligence center, the brain notwithstanding of the human organism. And actually, the heart develops way before the brain. So sweet. And it is about 5,000 times stronger than that of the cranial brain. Okay. Oh, the heart's electromagnetic field is about 5,000 times stronger than that of the cranial brain. All right, and it interacts with and permeates every cell of our bodies. Does that make sense? It makes perfect sense, yes. But wow, 5,000 times greater electromagnetic force coming out from the heart than from the brain. And what we are emitting from our heart, or radiating from our heart, is what makes the connection with everyone around us. Not what's going on up here. It's what's going on in here. I mean, the power of the heart, that heart-brain. It's amazing, isn't it? And then to find out, I mean, don't you just love the internet? To find out also that the heart is made up of neurons. Yes, it's a muscle, but it has more neurons in it than the brain. And it connects with all the neurons in your body. So how many have seen a cardiologist? Who's seen a cardiologist? Who's seen an eye doctor, right? Who's seen someone for your feet, say? Yeah, I mean, and on and on and on. You have to go to a specialist, don't you? Because in our Western approach to medicine, they pull everything apart. Versus, what if we could go through the heart, which has this connection with every part of our body, and do our healing from the heart? Wouldn't that be more interesting? Yes. What if on that doctor's illegible prescription pad, although they're going to computers now so you can read them, but what if they wrote meditation, play, love? Yeah. What a unique concept. And if you tell them, I'm going to try this before I try your medication, there is a conversation, is there not?
Yeah.
Yeah. My internist, GP, whatever people are called now, we have this continuous conversation because there's something he wants me to take and I keep saying no. And it's been going on for 2 years now. And every time he just kind of shakes his head, smiles at me, and he makes a note on the computer. It's like, it's okay, I'm going to do my own thing. But our heart's electromagnetic signal registered in the brain waves of the people around us. Yeah, if we could just go to that heart center, and even when we're feeling fear, because there are some scary situations that go on in our lives, scary situations that are going on in the world, yes? Yeah. I don't know what I would do if I were one of those people that is facing a terrorist who wants to cut off my head. Could I go to that place of love, regardless? And if I could, would it make a difference? I think it would. It would bring a little bit more peace to the world. Doesn't mean that my head wouldn't still get cut off, all right? So I'm not making light of that. It does mean, though, that I would be bringing more peace to the world. Imagine the impact on someone who is so angry that they want to do damage to me, and I can still respond in love. Very powerful. Coming from the heart. Coming from the heart. And Osho, who is an Indian mystic. So remember the emphasis on the heart. The mind lives in doubt, and the heart lives in trust. The mind lives in doubt, the heart lives in trust. When you trust, suddenly you become centered. Trusting that all good, right? Trusting that the situation will come out in your favor. You know, divine order, divine justice, divine intelligence. Trusting. And trusting no matter how it comes out, that when I go to that heart center, that I will find peace. And in finding that peace, the situation will adjust itself again. It's never too late. It is absolutely never too late. So what would it be like to truly live life from the heart? I mean, that little pumper thing there would be much happier, right? You could go to that peaceful place, find love. It doesn't have to be romantic love. That's nice. But any kind of love, all kinds of love. You're going to that place. Do you think it would make a difference in the world? If just I did it, if just you did it? Yeah? Who are you to think that you could make a difference? Right? The question is, who are you not to think that you could make a difference? Because we do, every moment, every day. And we can come from that heart center. You know, we have the holidays coming, and the holidays for all the major world's religions. And it is the opportunity for all of us to reconnect with our roots. Because the teachings of all of our world religions are to come from the heart and to be peaceful. So let's reconnect with that, get in touch with that. I remember reading that someone said to President Lincoln, he said, "Let us pray that God is on our side." And Lincoln responded, "God is always on our side. Let us pray that we are on God's side." All right. Charles Fillmore, again. You see, what I so enjoy is Charles Fillmore, back at the turn of the century, the early 19th century, or early 20th century, he was talking about things that science is only now discovering and proving. You know, so we can read some of these writings and either simply take them on faith, which they did at the time, or we can say, hey, now we have science. But he also said that love is an inner quality that sees good everywhere and in everybody. Love is an inner quality that sees good in everything, sees good everywhere and in everybody. It's up to us to find that good. It insists, love insists that all is good. And by refusing to see anything but good, it causes that quality finally to appear uppermost in itself and in all things. All right? So if you refuse to see anything but good, then everything will have to show up as good. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. It's like the higher vibration will always pull up the lower vibration. So as you go through this holiday season, remember that. You know, keeping that higher vibration, you're pulling up the vibration for everyone and being able to live from the heart in every situation. You are transforming for everyone. So you're ready to do that. Live from the heart.